Friends, a nation actually becomes independent not when the alien rulers leave the boundaries of a country, but it is when it has its own government, which is by its own people, for its own people, and of its own people. And this happens only when a nation has its own constitution. India can boast of having the longest written liberal democratic constitution of the world. The focal point of today's celebrations is right here at Rajpath, and we are located in the All India Radio booth just a little towards east of the main saluting dais, from where the Honorable President Shri Ramnath Kovind and the Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi will be reviewing the parade that passes by down the Rajpath from the direction of Rashtrapati Bhavan towards India Gate. We bring to you an eyewitness account of this most spectacular show of the nation, which will showcase the military might of our country along with the latest achievements and initiatives and the rich and diverse culture and traditions from various parts of our great nation, India. Veerta.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, all hail the motherland. All hail the nation, India. A dream, a republic, a nation with so much heart and courage, peace and tranquility, resources and talent, intelligence and vision, celebrates its 73rd Republic Day today. The wind is blowing like a trumpet of happiness, the music of our nation's victory in the times of adversity, the journey which has been through so much that the modern world sits back and sees in reverence and disbelief that how can a nation and its people endure so much and yet aim so high? How can India and Indians face the brunt of battles and cutthroat challenges and yet be successful, powerful, and all of this while being deeply connected to their roots? Friends, the ambience at Rajpath is absolutely mesmerizing. The inner circle of Rajpath has been framed with the tricolour. The lush green lawn is partially visible as the lavender carpet has almost covered the entire area. The foldable chairs, green in color, are all installed at a safe distance, keeping the COVID protocol requirements in mind. This will also help the spectators to get a better view. Proper barricading can be seen. Unlike the previous years, the visitors are little limited this year, but the excitement seems to be much more. Flowers, which play a significant role in Indian festivals, we all know that. And here also it's playing a very vital role. After all, Republic Day is the most special occasion. We can see the floral decoration in abundance here. The dais, the podium, the emblem, all covered beautifully with vibrant flowers, marigold, gladuli, mostly white, chrysanthemums, lilies, pansies, orchids, and a lot more. The aroma of these flowers fills the air with fragrance, giving the extra edge to the grandeur of this event. Friends, the military band standing next to the national emblem, right opposite the saluting dais, are all very alert. Dressed in crisp uniform with their musical instruments, they are looking their best, all ready to play the national anthem once the flag is unfurled. Talking of floral decorations, we just see the salute dais. It's bedecked with flowers. Lots of bright flowers on either side of the salute base at the entrance. We can see the brass vases. It's again full of flowers. White gladuli can be seen, roses and anthurium. And the steps are also decorated with flowers. Two marigold arches are there for the dignitaries to enter, and the backdrop, which has yellow base of marigold flowers bordered with darker shade of marigold flowers. And the theme is depicted here also. Sitting arrangements, like I said, is very nice with lots of space in between. And for the Honorable President and Prime Minister at the salute days, there is a small umbrella just for the mark of respect to them. And that is also bedecked with maroon flowers. Everything is making the look of this entire area very regal. And the theme of the Republic Parade is also quite evident here. India at 75. And there's so much more to say, but then here we have Anuja Kumar. Anuja, please.
Thank you, Vinita. Namaskar and a very good morning to all tuned to All India Radio. While the day is primarily about celebrating our democratic ethos and faith in constitutional values as a nation state, the significance of Republic Day celebrations is echoed in more ways than one. Be it the display of discipline by the army battalions to the colorful tableaus from the states, followed by the breathtaking formations of military aircraft, the Rajpath speaks high of Indian guts, grit, and glory on this day every year. Republic Day signifies the right spirit of independent and individual India. It's heartwarming to watch the Republic Day celebration live at Rajpath and describing it all to you and be awe-inspired by the progress made by each state and the nation as a whole. This day has a huge significance for our nation, which is one of the biggest democracies in the world.
And now is the time when we will have to go to the National War Memorial. That is the place where the nation will pay homage to the sons and daughters of India who sacrificed their lives to have this day with us, to celebrate independence, to celebrate democracy. And today we are one of the biggest democracies of the world. This solemn moment will be taken care by our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, who will be present at the National War Memorial. And now I take you to Bhuvan Jha, who will give an eyewitness account from the National War Memorial.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Namaskar, good morning. And once again, on behalf of the entire Akashvani and Prasar Bharati Parivar, this is Bhuvan Jha, extending my heartiest felicitations and warmest greetings to all listening in on our 73rd Republic Day. Ladies and gentlemen, in the most sacred of Republic Day traditions, Honorable Prime Minister of India Shri Narendra Modi will lead the nation in paying homage to our valiant martyrs. The National War Memorial inspires a deep sense of veneration for our martyrs. Their names are etched in gold here. The National War Memorial has been designed as a place where we do not mourn the death, but instead celebrate the life of the soldiers and pay our respects to the sacrifices made by them. Perhaps that is why one of the founding fathers of our republic has said, "Who lives when India dies? Who dies when India lives?" Ladies and gentlemen, these are hallowed grounds that people tread with reverence and gratitude as we remember those who live eternally in another realm but are never too far from our thoughts. Their memory pervades the collective consciousness of the country and continues to inspire generations to come. And if I may inform you, dear listener, about the National War Memorial Complex, it appears to be in complete harmony with the existing layout and symmetry of the majestic Rajpath and the central vista. The solemnity of the ambience is maintained with an emphasis on landscaping and the simplicity of the architecture. Apart from the main memorial, there is a dedicated area for busts of soldiers who have been conferred with the Veerta Chakra, the nation's highest gallantry award. The design of the main memorial exemplifies that supreme sacrifice made by a soldier in the line of duty not only makes him immortal, but also depicts that the spirit of a soldier remains eternal. The memorial, ladies and gentlemen, has a distinct scheme of concentric circles. Amar Chakra, or the circle of immortality. The Amar Chakra has an obelisk with the eternal flame. The flame symbolizes the immortality of the spirit of the fallen soldiers with the assurance that the nation shall never forget their sacrifices. Next up we have the Tyag Chakra, or the circle of sacrifice. The Tyag Chakra has circular concentric walls of honor which symbolize the ancient war formation Chakra view. The walls are clad with granite tablets, where an independent granite tablet is dedicated to each soldier who has made the supreme sacrifice in the line of duty. Each name, as I've mentioned before, on the tablet is etched in aurum. Then we have the Veerta Chakra, or the Circle of Bravery. The Veerta Chakra depicts the bravery of Indian forces in the form of a covered gallery that exhibits 6 murals grafted in bronze depicting valiant battle actions of the Indian armed forces. And finally, there is the Raksha Chakra, or the Circle of Protection. The outermost circle, made of rows of trees in the Raksha Chakra, is a reassurance to the citizens of the country about their safety against any external or internal threat, with each tree representing the soldiers who ensure the territorial integrity of the nation round the clock. And for the listeners who are just joining us in this special Republic Day broadcast on All India Radio, I can inform you that Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, will lead the nation in paying tributes to our immortal brave hearts on behalf of a grateful nation in a solemn ceremony to be held at the National War Memorial in a short while from now. The live and exclusive radio broadcast of which will continue on the national network of All India Radio and our official app News on AIR. I can inform you, dear listeners, that the carcade of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi shall be arriving at the National War Memorial in a few moments from now. Honorable Prime Minister Modi will be received by Raksha Mantri, Defence Minister Shri Rajnath Singh, Raksha Rajya Mantri, Minister of State for Defence Shri Ajay Bhatt, the Tri-Services Chiefs, Chief of Army Staff General Manoj Mukund Narvane, PVSM, AVSM, SM, VSM ADC, the Chief of Naval Staff Admiral R. Harikumar, PVSM, AVSM, VSM ADC, the Chief of Air Staff Air Marshal Vivek Ram Chaudhary, PVSM, AVSM, VM ADC, and the Defence Secretary Raksha Sachiv Dr. Ajay Kumar. Thereafter, ladies and gentlemen, the 73rd Republic Day function will commence with Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi paying homage to our martyrs on behalf of a grateful nation in a solemn function at the National War Memorial, the Rashtriya Samar Smarak. The Inter-Services Guards will be formed by 7 soldiers from each service, the Indian Army, the Indian Navy, and the Indian Air Force. This year, the Guards are being commanded by an officer of the Indian Navy, Lieutenant Commander Amit Kumar Rathi. When the Honorable Prime Minister lays the wreath, the Inter-Services Guards will present Salami Shastra, followed by Shok Shastra. Simultaneously, the buglers will sound the last post. The sound of the buglers playing the last post has become one of the most distinctive sounds in the world. Eerie and evocative, it exists beyond barriers and boundaries of region, religion, race and class, charged with the memory of generations of the fallen. Thereafter, dear listeners, 2 minutes of silence will be observed, after which the buglers will sound the rouse and the guards will present Salami Shastra again. The rouse, or the first call of the day, signifies the soldier's rebirth into eternal life. Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi will then move to the digital visitors book within the National War Memorial Complex to endorse his remarks on this solemn occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, I can inform you that since independence, more than 26,000 soldiers of the Indian Armed Forces have made the supreme sacrifice to defend the sovereignty and integrity of the Republic of India. The National War Memorial thus represents the gratitude of a nation to its armed forces. The memorial helps strengthen the sense of belonging, high moral values, sacrifice and national pride in our citizens. The National War Memorial stands testimony to the sacrifices made by our soldiers during various conflicts, United Nations operations, humanitarian assistance and disaster response operations since independence. The National War Memorial is a sacred place. Its importance cannot be overstated, with every brick and texture of this complex being of sacrosanct relevance for every patriotic Indian. Who can forget the heroic acts of Major Somnath Sharma, whose actions to repel illegal invaders from across our western borders saw him conferred with India's first Veerta Chakra, India's highest military decoration, posthumously. The nation still remembers with reverence and gratitude the heroic deeds of Major Shaitan Singh in Rezangla in 1962, when despite being outnumbered, he led his troops with unparalleled distinction and showed conspicuous bravery in the face of the enemy, keeping in line with the highest traditions of the Indian Armed Forces, making the supreme sacrifice for the nation. Our heads bow in reverence when we recall the heroic actions of Company Quartermaster Havildar Abdul Hamid, a brave heart who in the war of 1965 destroyed multiple enemy pattern tanks in the Kemkaran sector as if he were to be swatting flies. On this day, we also recall the actions of Captain Vikram Batra, who achieved the impossible in a daring attack against the aggressors in 1999. In fierce hand-to-hand combat, he eliminated 5 enemy soldiers, thereby getting awarded the Veerta Chakra posthumously. The National War Memorial houses the busts of 21 of India's finest bravehearts, recipients of the Veerta Chakra. And I can see that Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has arrived at the National War Memorial Complex. He is wearing a off-white kurta, accompanied by Raksha Mantri Defence Minister Shri Rajnath Singh, the Tri-Services Chiefs General Manoj Mukund Narwane, Admiral R. Harikumar, all accompanying the Prime Minister. I can also spot Air Marshal Vivek Ram Chaudhary, who is just behind the Prime Minister, as Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has arrived at the National War Memorial and now making his way, surely but slowly, to the National War Memorial, where he'll lay a wreath on behalf of a grateful nation as a tribute to the immortal soldier. When we talk of Atmanirbhar Bharat, an Atmanirbhar Bharat can only be built on foundations of regional and global security, and our brave hearts are a true testimony to efforts in that direction. Honorable Prime Minister now being escorted in full ceremonial gait and honor to lay a wreath on behalf of a grateful nation at the National War Memorial in this exclusive radio broadcast coming to you live on All India Radio. Honorable Prime Minister laying the wreath right now, being accompanied by the Tri-Services Chiefs and dignitaries from the Government of India. The buglers sounding the rouse, the guard commander ordering Salami Shastra, marking the completion of the 2 minute silence. When words stand still and hearts beat strong, a silent flame lifts into song. A billion prayers in reverence call, the silence quietly saying it all. Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi now moving to endorse his remarks in the digital visitors book at the National War Memorial. For penning his thoughts, his gratitude to the countless soldiers who have made the supreme sacrifice for the country and continue to live in our hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, time leaves us with many things: stories, memories, and heroes. It is indeed a poignant moment for the Prime Minister, as the head of the political executive of the largest global democracy, to lead the nation in paying homage to our heroes who laid down their lives so that our India may prosper and be home to generations of enlightened world citizens. I join you, my dear listener, in expressing my gratitude and admiration for our women and men in uniform. Our brave hearts keep watch even now, at this very moment, over snow-laden mountains, sandy dunes, and our extensive coastlines, standing tall and strong for the nation. It is most pertinent to mention, dear listeners, that a nation has different ways of respecting and recognizing sacrifice. To pay homage to our fallen bravehearts just prior to celebrating our republic is a heartfelt way of expressing reverence and gratitude to those souls who sacrificed their all to safeguard the sovereignty of Ma Bharati. Honorable Prime Minister now moving to endorse the digital visitors book, after which the solemn ceremony at the National War Memorial will draw to a close. Thereafter, Honorable Prime Minister will depart for the saluting base on the hallowed boulevard, that is Rajpath, where he will receive the Supreme Commander of the Indian Armed Forces, Honorable President of India, Shri Nath Kovind. Thereafter, ladies and gentlemen, the most spectacular pageant of the Republic will unfold before us on the majestic, hallowed boulevard, that is Rajpath. Soon will come the horses clip-clopping, the young women and men in uniform energetically stamping their feet on the asphalt and swinging their arms in unison to the rhythmic beating of the drums. Military bands playing rousing nationalistic tunes, rolling tanks, thundering aircrafts, ornate tableau showcasing our unity in diversity, and so much more. Oh, and did I mention our pride and our adversaries' envy? The Rafale will be making an appearance later this morning.
And here we can see the Prime Minister's motorcade coming in and a few of the beaming black SUVs going ahead. Those must be the security guards of the Prime Minister. And the motorcade slowing down here at Rajpath. And a few more coming in as we can just see the Prime Minister's motorcade, a few of the SUVs stopping just in front of the entrance of the saluting base.
These SUVs, the black shining SUVs, are slowly, gliding past the saluting base, and every eye is fixed on this cavalcade because it carries the man of the masses, the leader of the masses, our Honorable Prime Minister. And before that, we have more leaders who are there, and they are there to welcome the Honorable Prime Minister.
And I can see the spectators also equally excited and keen. But I love the composure with which they are conducting themselves. After all, it's such a formal occasion and an event to celebrate.
Well, that's the Prime Minister there, and he is now moving amongst his colleagues with folded hands and broad smiles on his face, and he is moving across the seating area where all his cabinet colleagues, the judiciary, the other dignitaries are sitting and greeting them and exchanging pleasantries with them. And there is a saffron scarf round his neck with white kurta pajama and a creamish kurta and white pajama and black jacket and a dark cap. Oh, what a graceful walk! And all his commandos are around him with folded hands and a pride of a leader of the nation. He's walking through. Anuja.
Yes, with folded hands, he's greeting all the dignitaries and the guests here. And as always, we have seen the Prime Minister, he has always been very much ahead of meeting all his guests personally. With his folded hands, he is going back again slowly towards the saluting days, where he will be standing there to receive the President, the Supreme Commander of the Defense Forces, before the pageant, the marching contingent starts gliding past the Rajpath.